All right, what's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Non-black men can do these things. See, if non-black men can be deadbeat dads and not be plastered all over society as the face of deadbeat dads, non-black men can be woman beat, abusive, and not be looked at like that. Non-black men can be molesters and not be looked at. Non-black men can be murderers and not really be looked at. Non-black men can be thieves and not really be looked at. Non-black men can be criminals, not really be looked at. Non-black men can be womanizers and not really be looked at. Now, I saw something that disturbed me. They had a commercial, cheese commercial, and it was like it's a Cracker Barrel cheese commercial. And it was like, we didn't even shoot this video, this commercial in the studio. We shot it in some guy's house while he was sleeping. And what happened was, at the end of the commercial, they didn't show faces. They were just showing the cheese and talking in the background. And then the lights clicked on. Oh, what's going on? And they ran out of the house. The cameraman and the guy, and the commercial was over, right? And it'll be looked at as funny. But if you had, but imagine the racial tension that video would have if it was a black dude sitting in somebody's kitchen in the middle of the night with a camera eating some cheese. It'd be, that's. And what I mean by that is people are more comfortable with the thought. They don't have to. You don't. Okay. People don't feel like they have to stand their ground with non-black people. I said this earlier. Chris Brown is somehow a woman beater. Sean Penn ain't. I don't see how not. Charlie Sheen ain't. I don't see how not. Mel Gibson ain't. I don't see how not. But when you think about a person who beats women right now, who's the face of it? Who was the face before that? Well, Mike Tyson or O.J. Simpson. Even though there have been numerous incidents with other people on a more frequent basis. If you go further back than that, it's Ike Turner, right? And that's the problem. Like, you telling me there are white equivalents or non-black equivalents who are much worse, but because they're not black, who gives a shit, right? I see people. I went out one day and this thought sparked in my mind. I was out, went to the mall, and it had. I could not help but notice in the last month or two how many young black females were single mothers with biracial children. And I could not help but notice I've never heard them talk bad about these kids' fathers of different ages. And you could tell that they weren't with the guys anymore. I've dated women in the past who've had kids with guys who were non-black, and guys just, you black. I mean, whatever. You're good enough to fuck, but not good enough to and that's people sometimes don't work out, but it's something a little bit deeper than that. The problem I see is when people have these high standards of, me as a black man, I have to be everything in the Satan category, and everybody else has mental issues or daddy issues or mommy issues, or they have affluenza, or they grew up in poverty, or they had to overcome reverse racism. I don't know how the fuck that works, but at the same token, everything a brother could say something and they'd be like, oh, so what, you got shot in the head? Everybody in America gets shot in the head. It's no different from anybody else. I mean, It's the American way. Pick yourself up by your bootstraps. I mean, I've got shot in the head 17 times, and you did no, but I mean, what fuck you, you know. And that's the problem. That blind hatred and arrogance to things on one end that need an explanation, but people have don't have one. And then on the flip side, just sheer fear. Because I think when it comes to non-black men, people are scared to call non-black men on their shit. Like, y'all having a lot of deadbeat kids. Because, see, a lot of this inflated stuff, black men are deadbeat fathers. Well, what happens when all these mixed kids, you see them in public, some of them you don't know are mixed. So people assume oh, his dad is black. That's not really true, though. Then when you see the mixed ones, you know they're mixed. Where's the dad? Well, I wouldn't be with it either because she's black. Wow. But that's okay, though. Everybody else could do that. So it lumps the numbers in. When people talk about crime, some dude left me some stupid message about, blacks committing more crime. And I'm like, we have every criminal organization on the planet is not black. Cocaine, you don't think of black people who distribute it and make it and have cartels. Ecstasy, you don't think of black people who distribute it, make it, and have cartels. Money laundering, you don't think of black people. Guns, you don't think of black people. Weed, you think of, you do think of Jamaican, but you don't think of black people distributing weed from Jamaica. You know, heroin, you don't think of black people. But all of a sudden, we're the biggest criminals on the planet. Embezzlement, you don't think of black people. Fraud, you don't think of black people. White collar crime, you don't think of black people. Then you say, oh, they rob a liquor store. Oh, fuck, really? That's the best you got, And so to have these high standards where everybody, like if we had a cartel, if we had an organized crime ring, if we could just money launder and embezzle and do all the shit everybody else did, I could understand it. But I just crack up because non-black men get away with murder. And everybody wants, and the funny part about it is maybe we should start doing all those things. Because obviously that's what everybody else loves and gravitates to the point so much you can make a commercial about breaking and entering and the people think it's funny. Because that's the norm for everybody else. I'm out.